Gentlemen, welcome to the Board of Selectmen's meeting for Wednesday, November 30th, 2016. At this time, we invite you all to join us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would you please remain standing for just a moment? During the past week or two, we lost two residents from Dayton, Dora Ashley and Irene Ponce, and from Rehoboth, Jean Quigley, who was very well known in Dayton and spent a great deal of time at St. Peter's Church and also at both St. Anne's Hospital and the Catholic Home in Fall River. She was a nurse and was very well known. And I would ask a moment of silence in memory of these three individuals. Thank you.
May we approve the minutes?
Mr. Chairman, I move that the minutes of the Selectmen's regular meeting of November 9th and the Selectmen's regular meeting of November the 16th, 2016 be approved.
I second that, Mr. Chairman.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? If none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? That motion carries unanimously. Next comes the approval of the warrants.
Mr. Chairman, I move that warrant 21A-17 in the amount of $80,207.95 payroll. Warrant 21B-17 in the amount of $16,581.89. Warrant 21C-17 in the amount of $267,379.08, all dated November 22nd. Warrant 22A-17 in the amount of $79,290.64 payroll. Warrant 22B-17 in the amount of $82,583.96 accounts payable. And warrant 22C in the amount of $37,099.28 accounts payable, the last three being dated November 30th, be approved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. That motion carries unanimously. Correspondence? No correspondence. Announcements. Tonight's announcements: trash bags, shops, disposal containers, and recycling stickers are all for sale at the Board of Selectmen's office. You may call 508-669-6431 for more information. If you need fuel assistance this winter, please call Citizens for Citizens, 1 Taunton Green, Taunton, Mass. Phone number is 508-823-6346. There is a winter parking ban in effect from November 1st through April 1st of each year. No parking is allowed on any street during this time. Landfill stickers are available for 2017. They are available at the transfer station during regular hours on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Payment is by check only at the transfer station. You may make your checks payable to the town of Dayton for $15. Your registration is required for the vehicle that you intend to use and be permitted. Stickers are not transferable to other vehicles or other people. A representative from Serpent will attend the Board of Selectmen's meeting on December 14th to give an update on the status of the community electricity aggregation. This is the second year of a two-year plan that most of the town's homes have been locked into at a discounted rate. Food bank distribution will take place on Saturday, December 17th, 2016, 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Senator Mark Pacheco, or a representative, will be at the Dayton Council on Aging on Tuesday, December 20th, from 12:45 p.m. to 1:15 p.m., and at the Dayton Town Hall from 1:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. on the same day. If you would like to set up an appointment, please call 508-823-0095. And please check the town website for updates during all snow emergencies. And I have one more here for the Board of Health announcement regarding numerous complaints about fake Newports.
This notice came in from Marilyn Edge, who is our tobacco and alcohol enforcement officer. And it reads, attached is a memo that is going to go out this week to all of your tobacco permit holders concerning numerous complaints and Facebook posts about fake Newports. If you get any calls from your residents or store owners, please assure them that there are no fake Newports. There are no marijuana Newports, and the changes to the Newport packaging is legitimate. Lorillard was recently purchased by R.J. Reynolds. After that purchase, R.J. Reynolds proceeded to change the packaging on their Newports. The coloration is a little different, the lettering is somewhat different, and the Surgeon General's warning is printed differently. These changes have been confirmed by the Mass Tobacco Cessation and Prevention Program. We have also received numerous complaints that these fake Newports taste horrible. All I can say to that is no kidding. But all joking aside, if you receive any of these types of complaints from constituents, please tell them to contact R.J. Reynolds Customer Service. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. And again, it's Marilyn Edge, Weston, Bristol County, and Foxborough Tobacco and Alcohol Prevention Program, and she's at Government Center in Fall River. So if anyone has any questions about fake Newports, if you give us a call, we can give you this telephone number, and you can get in touch with either Miss Edge or R.J. Reynolds. You'll probably make out better calling Miss Edge. One other announcement. This doll is looking for its owner. We found it in Town Hall following Lights On last week. It's been up here in the foyer. No one has claimed it. So if you know of any little girl that's looking for a little, what does that say? Is that cheer?
Cheer?
I guess she's supposed to be a cheerleader. If anyone's looking for a little doll in a pink cheerleader's outfit with blonde hair, it'll be here at Town Hall. I can't imagine any little girl not trying to find this doll, but it'll be here if anybody knows anybody. Thank you.
Moving right along, old business. First on the agenda, review, discuss, and act on a reading of the transfer station rates for the year 2017. I believe this is the third reading. Anytime rates change on any of our permits or any of our fees, the mandatory approval becomes effective after 3 consecutive readings of the increases. So these are, this will be the third reading for the transfer station increases in fees. And again, I will go right through this as quickly as I can. This is for the transfer station, which is for Dayton residents only. The hours of operation are Tuesday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., and Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. A one-year sticker to the transfer station for a resident is $15. It is for sale at the transfer station only and will be affixed to your vehicle that is being placed on at the time of the purchase. A one-day pass to the transfer station is $15. If you just want it, you don't want to buy it for the whole year, it's the same fee, but it's only good for one day. Plus, at that time, you'll also pay your disposal fees for whatever article you're bringing in to get rid of. Any unauthorized use of a sticker carries a $1,000 fine. Unacceptable waste. The following are unacceptable: lead-acid batteries, paints, oils, barrels, cement blocks, bricks, blacktop, sheetrock, roofing material, automotive seats, gas tanks, transmissions.
Excuse me. These mics are live, so if you could,
My voice, I'm sorry.
sorry.
That's right. All hazardous materials are banned. Generated common household waste is also unacceptable. That's curbside pickup only for household waste. Now, the fees for the disposal per item are the following: air conditioners, $15; barbecue grills, $10; box springs, $15; a car tire, $5 each; computer monitor, $10; desk table, $10; a dryer, $15; a file cabinet, $10; a mattress, $15; microwave oven, $10; propane tank, $10; refrigerator, in which the Freon must be removed prior to bringing it to the transfer station, $15; a stove, $15; a television, any size, $20; truck tire each, $10; a VCR, $10; a washer, $15; and a water heater, $15. We also have trailer fees. If the trailer is 8 foot or less, it's a $20 fee. If the trailer is 10 to 15 foot, it's $40. And in between, an 8 to 10 foot trailer is $30. And the maximum size trailer that we will accept at the transfer station is a 16-foot trailer, and that fee is $50. We also have initiated construction debris to be accepted at the transfer station. A half pickup truck load or a half trailer load, 8 foot or less, is $50. A full pickup truck load or a half trailer load, 8 foot or less, $75. Miscellaneous metals, $20 for a pickup load, or a partial load is $10. That completes the third reading of the increase in transfer station fees, which I might add, this is the first time, and this is my 6th year that there has been an increase. I'll give you an example. We charge now $20 for a television. Each time a television is picked up there, it's running an average of $23 to $24. So it's just trying to offset some of the costs. My colleagues, I would entertain a motion to accept the increased transfer station fees for the year 2017.
So moved.
Seconded, Mr. Chairman.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? If none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? The ayes have it. That motion carries unanimously. Next on the agenda, under old business, review, discuss, and act, Mr. Noah Monroe to update the board on his Eagle Scout project at the Veterans Memorial on Lincoln Avenue.
All right.
You can stand
how are
right
you?
there.
So I'm working on the Veterans Memorial on Lincoln Ave, and currently this is a kind of like update meeting. At the end of my binder, you can actually see the pictures of what I've worked on so far. So far, we've moved the memorial stone to the flagpole area, and we've completely redone the benches. We still have to put in the pavers, get new signage, and lay out some loam and plant new grass seed. We're probably around 60% of the way there, and we do think we can get this done before winter.
You do?
Mm-hmm. I think we probably have 2 more big days with all the scouts to come and help.
How many scouts do you have helping you?
On a good day, we can probably get like 6 scouts, and then family members sometimes help me.
Very good.
Yep.
Very good.
Did you move the circle?
Yes, we're actually going to be putting that in front of the flagpole area. After talking with Tom Ferry, he hopes maybe in the future, after the wall is fixed, that could become a small parking area, because I know people like to launch their canoes and kayaks.
Okay, and are you setting bricks in a walkway? Is that what I'm looking at here?
Yes, that hole's where the old pavers are going to be put.
Okay. Now, I see the sign that's over to the left that
Yes.
shows the fish. Is
Yes.
that area part of the project?
That is. I'm actually going to be redoing those signs. I'm currently emailing Bill Napioli, and he says that he can get me the signs.
That's a nice picture.
It is. Is this project a little more work than you thought?
Yeah. It's definitely rewarding, though, seeing it all come together.
Okay, well, I don't know if, I'm gonna hold this up. I don't know if you can get the picture of this stone.
You'll probably get this one over here.
Well, I'm close to this one. The camera that's to my left, a little closer, all right. And then down, and it's right here where my finger is, right here.
Oh, yeah.
That's the marker.
Nice.
Very good. Good
And
job.
that says Veterans Park dedicated in loving memory. Whoops. To all Dayton veterans in war and peace. That's really nice.
Very nice.
And this is across from where 214 Lincoln Avenue, where Dick Simmons used to, that's where the Simmons family resides.
Correct. Right on the 3 Mile River.
Right. So, the next time we see you, will it be all done?
Yes, actually. Yep. Exciting.
It is. Very good. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Noah. Next on the agenda, review, discuss, and act to recognize teachers and students who have worked on the holiday train project. At this time, I'd very graciously invite Selectman Goulart to present the project that she was very much responsible for with the help of Tom Ferry.
And Ed Dutra, and
And Ed
that's
Dutra.
the holiday train that is now parked near Town Hall. That was, it made its debut in the Lights On Parade, following the DR band, and then between the band and a nice, bright, red, shiny fire truck. I don't have the complete list, so I will do that at a future meeting. I can tell you this, Ron Smith is currently working on putting together a CD of that entire project. Mr. Alan Libby from Bristol Plymouth emailed 24 photographs to me that show it's actually a wheel horse tow motor that came from Quonset Point that was converted into that holiday train out front. They photographed various stages of the project. Those are the 24. In addition to that, I took pictures the day that we picked it up. I also took pictures of the old train that is currently at the landfill. because the students at Bristol Plymouth wanted to see what we used to have to get ideas on how to convert this tow motor into a holiday train. And I will have a list of names also of all of the teachers besides Mr. Libby, who worked on the project. So I forwarded some information to Ron Smith, and he's going to put the students' and teachers' names on there. But I will read them separately to give them recognition. I did read the names at the Lights On celebration we had. I didn't have the faculty names at that time. But I think everybody was just thrilled with that train, that project. And by the way, it came in under budget. It's like, the bill was like $657 and change to convert that tow motor into what is out there right now. And I think part of the reason it came in under budget was because one of the suppliers of paint to the automotive body shop donated the paint. I think when that salesperson was at the school and was wondering what was going on, and when he found out, they made that donation, so that helped us. The train, when it was brought back to Dayton, our highway mechanic put the little lights on the top, and because it's a military vehicle, it had no key. It just had you could press the button and drive off. So the highway department mechanic took care of that. You can't just press the button and drive off. So he did what was necessary, because they told us when we were leaving, don't leave the battery in it if it's outside. So it was inside, it was locked up, but we can leave a battery in it now, and there is a method of starting it other than just the push button and driving off. So we'll probably give you one more update on that, and as soon as we get that CD from Ron, he thought we may have it next week, but we will get it to cable so it can be shown on Channel 9, and Brett can put it on the town's website so that everyone that's interested can see the little train, the little tow motor, and how it turned into the town's new holiday train.
Very good. The next topic on the agenda tonight, new business. And the first item under new business will review, discuss, and act on public forum with Mr. Robert Sullivan and Ms. Kathy Maloney, who are representatives with us tonight from Comcast. We had made this announcement in prior meetings, and anybody from the public or residents or area people who had questions about Comcast service or Comcast products, please come and ask the questions. We will have a couple of representatives from Comcast, and without further ado, I'd like to have the representatives tonight, approach the podium. And
thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, and I also want to thank Ms. Brady, who coordinated this meeting. I'm Robert Sullivan. I'm new to Comcast. I've only been employed by the company for 2 months. But one of my other jobs is I'm a city councilman in Brockton for the last 11 years, so I can appreciate your time and Robert's rules and everything you're doing for this meeting tonight. But I am joined by my colleague Kathy Maloney, who's has 30-plus years in the cable industry. So, what I'm trying to do right now is to go to all the towns that I'm assigned to, and it runs the gamut. It goes all the way up to Fitchburg. But Somerset, Rehoboth, Swansea, Seekonk, Fall River. So there's a lot down here. Your license is in effect until June of 2020. So I don't expect that we'll be negotiating in the near future. But there are a lot of changes going on right now. One of the things that we're called on a regular basis is Channel 7, WHDH is not going to be an NBC affiliate. But there is already plans as of January 1. There will be a NBC Boston channel that will be running all the shows that you currently see, from Jimmy Fallon to football to the news, and that's going to be NBC Boston. It's going to be channel 810. There will be notifications if they haven't been sent out already, but they will be sent out. WHGH will still be on channel 7 doing what they do, but they will no longer be an NBC affiliate. Just to give you a quick background on who I am, I'm born and raised in Brockton, went to New England School of Law, I have a law degree, I have an MBA from BC. Town experience, I was the town attorney for the town of Randolph for 5 years, and the last 2 years I worked up at the State House for the House of Representatives. So I am new to the cable industry, but I really want to thank you for having me here tonight. If I can answer any questions, I'd be happy to. I brought my veteran colleague with me. If I can't, she can. But at the end of the day, one of the things that is very important for Comcast is customer service. That's the number one product. That's what we really thrive to really exceed any of our competitors. I've gotten a lot of calls from town managers, executive assistants, and I'll leave my cards with you as well. And they're calling me and saying, well, what exactly is your role as government affairs, senior manager of government affairs? I'm the liaison, the contact with the municipality, the city or the town, and the cable company, Comcast. And my role is multifaceted. Of course, when we get to the time to do a contract renewal, we'll go through all that legal process. I'm sure you use a legal consultant to do that as well. But a lot of customers will call and it will run the gamut from my internet's not working to I'm having mixed signals on my TV. What do I need to do? And the number one thing that I've learned over the last 2.5 months is, first of all, every issue is a legitimate issue. Every concern is a legitimate concern. I'm sure Town Hall gets inundated at times with these, and so call me, because at the end of the day, what I will do is I'll ask, number one, what's the address? What's the issue? And then we have a technicians operations department that will specifically address that single address if it's a residential or
That's
a
great.
business.
I've been having some problems.
All right, so we can talk offline. One of the other things people are concerned about is price hikes. Rates go up. That's just unfortunately a cost of doing business. One thing that Comcast has been able to do, and I'll tell you why it's going up, because it is going up. We have to pay a certain negotiation fee with every network to use their programming, and they increase their charges and their fees. One other thing that Comcast is attempting to do, and really exceeding in the industry, is hotspot Wi-Fi nationwide, and the speed of internet is increased. So at the end of the day, you are getting a multifaceted internet, home, cable. Some people still have landlines like me with 3 little kids, but also home security. So Comcast is really a multifaceted company that's providing a lot of services. I mean, I could answer any questions you have.
I actually
Sure.
have one. I'm glad that you raised that point. Fees are going up.
Yes.
My thought is, with fees going up, you're probably going to lose people who can't afford to pay anymore. Has Comcast ever considered, in order to get those folks back in, and I'm not trying to bring business to Comcast, but I'm trying to get people connected to Wi-Fi and cable. Regarding cable, have you guys ever considered doing sort of an a la carte service where people, because, for example, I'll give you my case,
Yep.
we pay, $200+ a month, and you have 800 channels you don't use. I use the same 3 channels. So why can't people have more options? I think the problem is that as fees increase, people feel anyway, like their options are decreasing in terms of what they watch. I feel like your options, and Comcast options, not your personal options, they're not geared towards individual people. They're not geared towards what people actually use. They get a bunch of fluff channels. There are channels I've never even flipped past, never mind watched. So I just wanted to know, is that not profitable? Why would that not be
Mr.
pursued?
Selectman, that's a legitimate concern, and I myself had the same question until I worked here, and my mom and dad, who have a fixed income, the seniors, they had channels that they didn't even know they had. So I looked into it. You can do an a la carte, you can. One thing that Comcast is attempting to do right now, and not just because I work for them, but I think it's a good thing and it's the right thing to do, is it's a product called Internet Essentials. And their goal right now is to give the internet to every household and nationwide. And it's based on 2 things. If you reside within HUD housing, you qualify. It's $9.95 per month. They also will sell you for $149 a computer if you choose to do that. And so that's HUD housing component. But really the big component that we're seeing nationwide is if you're a family and at least one of your child in that household qualifies for either reduced or free lunch, they also would qualify. And again, that's for the Internet Essentials component, which I think is a win-win, quite honestly. And I have some, I can leave them with you. I know the town of Fairhaven asked me to bring 1,500 of these pamphlets the other day. You know, I think you bring up a good point, because people get a basic package, enhanced package, they get all these packages, and quite honestly, you know, they look at a few of those channels, right? You know, it depends, I think, seasonal when you're looking at certain channels, right? Nesson's big during the baseball season. But you bring up a good point, because from our perspective is, we're in a business to make money, right? That's what we're in a business for. But we also are in a business to make sure that the customers stay with us. We don't want to lose customers. So when you say we may lose some customers, we may, but we also offer like senior discounts for senior citizens. So there are mechanisms within I guess, the corporate mission statement to make sure that every customer feels that they're getting the right product for the price that they pay. You know, I pay $199 a month. It's a lot of money, but I think we get really a lot for that. So hopefully that answered your question. We have great customer service people. If anybody watching this or anybody here tonight has any questions, you know, we have an Xfinity store in Raynham. We have the customer service
Nice store.
over. It is a nice store. We have the Xfinity store in Somerset that's there right now, and of course Fall River as well.
The new Xfinity store is in that complex where Party City, Office Max is, and the Taco Bell is
Taco
in
Bell,
there.
yeah.
That doesn't mean anything to me.
Near the Walmart on Route 44.
Oh, up
In Rainham.
the hill.
44, it's in
Before
Rainham.
that.
Okay, okay.
I got a question for you, sir.
Sure.
So going back to the a la carte thing, I know a lot of people right now are basically moving over to smart TV. I got a Roku, so I can pick the channels I want. Last year, we had HBO decided to go on their own. You can pick up that app for $15. I know you addressed the first part of the question, but the second part is, will it be an a la carte where, you know what, I just want these 12 stations instead of the 100 stations. Can I just buy those? Because there are people leaving saying, if I can't get what I want, I'd rather just pay for it somewhere else. You think that's going to get addressed pretty soon? Because, you know, there are people leaving cable
And people,
because of smart TVs and the internet right now.
and they'll just choose to watch their shows online. They have little websites where they know that it'll be posted, and they literally don't even have cable. They just pay for Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I mean,
I can help answer that from here, okay? Okay. Yeah, and we've looked at this and look at it all the time, especially now when there's so many different ways you can get your programming. You know, not just Roku, but just on every device you might have. Everybody has 3-4 devices in their home, you know, and everything's mobile too. The cost per channel goes up because the programmers need to make money too. And if we're not delivering enough customers at a certain license fee per customer, then that's going to go up per customer. So that's been the challenge with going all a la carte. We used to use the metaphor of a newspaper when everybody used to get the newspaper. Would you just get the sports section from the Boston Globe? No, sorry, you've got, or just, you know, the food on Wednesday. No, you get the whole paper because everything contributes and that's how you run your business. So I think it's very attractive to be able to cherry pick channels. Everybody wants to do that. And I think we try to get that way, like to Bob's point of trying to package smaller sports entertainment package, or this family, this. But yeah, I mean.
I know it's a challenge, but
Yeah.
but you probably noticed there are people looking at the internet to pick up a lot of their.
Absolutely, streaming it, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And the programmers know that too, that's why HBO, they're going off and they're
Well,
not
they have
just
some
going
great
to
shows
cable
to back them up
operators.
right now, so they can do that too,
Absolutely,
you know?
absolutely.
How would a person get a la carte? Because this has not been advertised or made public. So is there a list that I could go to and it lists channel 10 Providence? I can access anything on there. The cost for that is X per month.
Yeah.
And then I pick
We're not there
something
yet,
else.
no.
Well,
In
that's
fact,
not
we have to carry broadcast.
That's what it is,
A la
but it's not
carte.
there.
We have must-carry rules that are imposed by the government that you carry all broadcast stations in a market area, so we wouldn't even be able to do
Well, you
that
can
anyway.
carry them. What we want is to be able to select those that we want. There's a lot of music channels and foreign language channels I don't watch because either it's not the music I listen to, it's not the language I speak, and the language I learned I probably forgot anyhow for the ones that I would access. The complaints that I've had, again, à la carte would solve the problem, because it'd be like a shopping list. Check the ones you want, and there's a price next to it, add them all up, that's what it's gonna cost you. And then the taxes and the other fees get added. Now, how does senior discounts work?
Kathy, you have to.
Yeah, if you have one, and those are in many towns, not all of our towns, but in many towns. It's $2 off of our standard service, which
What's
is
standard,
around,
basic?
which standard is your digital starter, I think is the nomenclature, but it's around $50, $60 package, so it's $2 off that. It's not a lot of money. It is basically the basic channel. There's one other tier of service called basic broadcast, which is basically that, the broadcast channels and a few more channels, like another 20 or so. I can show you actually the channel lineup, and it's going out soon.
What I would
Every
suggest
customer
is that,
breaks it
I
up.
think of Comcast as a utility company. You don't provide electricity or natural gas, but you're in the home like the telephone. So I think about it's for those who have landlines. The gas company, the electric company, no matter who the supplier is, periodically during the year, puts that little flyer in with the bill that tells you discounts that are available, and if it's related to income, if it's related to free and reduced price meals, or if it's a, I don't know if TMLP still does this. They used to have a thing, if you paid your bill by a certain point in time, you got a percentage off. That's a municipal power. But put that in there, and these, the kind of things you're telling me about tonight, I'm sitting here wondering, how long has this been going on? I've never heard of it. I think a senior discount program, even if it's only a few dollars, for people who are living on fixed incomes, a couple of dollars is a couple of dollars. It's $24 a month if it's $2. When you talked about HUD housing, we have a senior housing on Lincoln Avenue. It's called Lincoln Village. Is that considered?
It's under the auspices of the Housing Authority, correct?
Yes.
It would qualify.
So do those people who have cable get some kind of break, and do they even know about it?
They would if they don't have internet today, because it's
Yeah.
a program that's reaching out to people who don't have internet, because they can't afford it in most cases.
It's only internet, it's not television.
That's right, it's Internet Essentials, it's for the
Okay,
Internet.
so that's, so if you live at Lincoln Village and you'd like to get a computer,
Oh, no, it's not that you get a computer, it's.
no, I said if you would like to get a computer and have internet service, there is some kind of a price break through Comcast if you use
Essentials, yeah.
Yeah.
for your service.
And that was done in response, we've had this program now for several years, going on 4, I believe, the Internet Essentials, but it was for kids. It was all about bridging the digital divide so that the kids who just, they were going to the library, staying after school if they could, and many can't, catch the bus, or trying to use the mobile device to go to the website that the teacher has your homework on. It was, for that is why the program originated, to try to get something into homes that would be affordable, $10 a month instead of $50 or $60 a month, and then the option to purchase a laptop for $150, $149. And then it's just been very recent that we expanded the program, and actually the Boston area, our region here is one of the few in the country that's doing this right now for HUD, for the HUD housing, which isn't just elderly, it's anyone in HUD.
Well,
housing
in this
who
case, it is
qualifies.
just elderly housing.
And that's
in-
fine,
at
yeah,
Lincoln
okay.
Village.
Yep.
One of the problems I run into personally, whether I'm at home, whether I'm sitting in there, I'm on the internet, I'm doing email, all of a sudden, the little thing at the bottom comes up and says, Comcast is not responding. And you wait and wait and wait, and you can't do anything except shut it down and sometimes restart the computer. I do this 2 and 3 times in the morning before I get here. Or I give up and come here, and I'm going great guns, and all of a sudden, it's doing it again. Another thing that happens, excuse me, I sign on, the screen comes up, so I can click on either email or something else. And the screen changes from the advertisements and all that, and it says this page can't be displayed. And I look down, and it shows that my internet connection is gone, which means tell it to restart. It's a waste of time.
Oh, yeah, that shouldn't be.
It's
Should
constant.
Take a look at that.
And as I say, whether I'm sitting at home or whether I'm sitting in this office, it does happen. Messages come up that say, Comcast not responding. Long script running. I have no idea what that means, so I keep clicking on it to kill it. And sometimes the only way I get rid of it is Control, Alt, Delete.
Long script running?
Long
It's like
script
the
running.
script that tells the computer or the website what to do.
It goes
Yeah.
on and on and on. Now, I will tell you this, I use a laptop as my desktop. I took it to Best Buy. I said, put the maximum memory in this. And when it's working fine. And when it's not working fine, I'm getting these messages. And I gotta tell you, when I have computer problems, true problems, and I call that support line, number one, quite frankly, I get support people that don't know what they're talking about. I've been told numerous times, it's your hardware, it's not Comcast. I say, no, it's not my hardware. Then it's your software. Well, no, it's not my software. And the way I get out of those problems, because I finally give up with Comcast, I mean, when I spend an hour trying to fix a problem, and now, are the lights working? Yeah, they're all, the ones that are blinking are fine. We're gonna send a signal. Waste of time. When I finally give up, and quite frankly, for the probably past 6 months, I have an account at UMass Amherst. I call the helpline on the telephone and say, hey guys, I got a problem. This is what I'm doing. Tell me how to get out of it, because Comcast told me to replace the hardware. And they say, no, this is what you do. And they give me step-by-step instructions. If I didn't have that connection to OIT at UMass Amherst, I probably would have thrown that thing out the window a long time ago. Because your support is not there. You get people who don't know what to do. Now, I will tell you this. One time I got so bad, they were going to send a tech out. And I said, don't send a tech out here that I'm going to pay for, because I know the problem isn't here. Somebody gave me another number, and I call that gentleman. He walked me through the problem. So if we could access that gentleman and not go through wherever they are in the world, they are not technical people. We should be able to connect to the level of technical support that I got after I spent all the grief talking to people around the globe and not getting help.
Yeah. I mean, I completely sympathize. Like, we are doing so many things to improve the customer experience, and I'm not just saying that because I work for Comcast.
No, I've noticed.
I'm saying that
I've
as
noticed.
a customer
I've
too.
noticed.
We really are. We recognize everything you're saying. I've gone through it too. I think everybody who owns a computer has gone through that kind of frustrating experience, but I'm not making excuses. We do have very segmented groups within our company, and you probably got to our Tier 2 support, which you should have gotten to far sooner, by the sounds of it. But we do have we do a lot of work on the back end to make sure that even detecting them before you have to call a second time. So I'd love to get to the bottom of this, which we can't do right here in this forum, but we can offline.
Another problem that has never been addressed, and I mean never, the gentleman who represented Comcast before, they used to come in, more than once I have been told, at certain times of the day, not only with internet, but with telephone, Comcast does not have the capacity to carry the traffic on the lines that it's trying to get on. I can tell you, when the middle school kids get home, every afternoon, if I sign on, I'm going to sit there. I can't get out, I can't do anything.
Okay.
and I've complained about it, and I've been told it's my computer. So, again, I go to I pick up the phone and called OIT. Tell me, is this my computer? They said no. I said, because the interesting thing is, I can't get any of my addresses and get out on my Comcast. I sign on and try to get wherever I want to go. If I sign on to that UMass account, I can zip around anywhere, and it's instant. Now,
Do you have a VPN type of connection to that UMass account? Are you tunneling in?
Private.
To their
it's an email address.
Okay.
It's out in Amherst. I bring up the sign-on screen, just like I do if I'm signing on to Comcast. Name and password. Boom, I got it. That's where I get my support.
No messages, none of that type of.
No. You know, the drop-down menu, the Comcast screen comes up to sign on. If I want to go to UMass, I hit the drop-down menu. It drops down. And, you know, the ones I've been visited recently, Google and the others will show. I just click on that one that says, I think it's OIT. It ends up UMass EDU. There's only one with an EDU.
Yeah.
And that's why when I contact them and say, is this problem my computer? Now, they're also the ones that said to me, either bring your computer in here, I'm not going to drive to Amherst, or go to a place like Best Buy, tell them to add memory. And when they told me to do that, absolutely. I'm at maximum now. And I've told them, but when we check the computer, I've got a lot of space. This computer is not overloaded. So it's not the computer. And again, the problem is, I don't want to be told, go replace the hardware, because I know it's not the hardware. But again, we've already talked about support service.
Has anyone been up to the home, your home?
I've had somebody come out. When you changed I'll call it the black box. I had the same black box from the day it was installed. So one of the times I had a problem, they said, they checked my record and found out the black box, the modem. That's ancient. I said, you installed it, it works. It may be ancient, so we'll get you a new one. 10 weeks later, I had a problem, called them up. Why didn't you replace the modem? I said, you were going to send it to me. Well, we'll check it. There's none in the warehouse. I can't change something. Can I go to the store in Somerset and get one? No, we'll bring it out to you. I'm not paying you to do this. No, we'll bring it out. A tech came out, took the old box, connected up the new one, everything was fine. But back in the day when they said you need a new modem, and it's simple to connect, you know, with the cables in the back. Can I pick it up? No. We'll send it to you. Never came. Tech finally brought it out because I had another problem. And they said it may be the modem, we'll get you a new one. But I said, no, it's been too long. But this gentleman actually brought it out. This was a few years ago. Whenever they changed the modem the last time, that's another thing. When I've asked for support, if it's not my hardware, it's yours. I don't think so. You know, I've been told, oh, it's the modem. I say, no, this modem is.
You're renting it?
I said, this one's new. At the time, it was the one that the tech brought. I says, no, it's not the modem. I think overall, the majority of complaint, other than my personal experience, and my personal experience has been either with the internet, that's the worst. But I've also had days when I've picked up my telephone in the kitchen, the wall phone, dial the number, doesn't matter if it's local or long distance. Something like, all the circuits are busy, try your call later. What? You can't tell me my circuits are busy. All the circuits are busy, call later. No, 24/7, I'm paying for that. It better work 24/7 like my cell phone does. That's a good reason to have a cell phone, because when you pick up that landline, and the only reason I haven't gotten rid of it, because obviously so many people know it.
Oh, your landline, yeah.
You know, that's the only reason, and it's part of the package, you know. But,
Is that still a problem, the phone?
well, the minute I get that message, I just pick up my cell phone, or use the phone that's wired into my car on OnStar.
So it might still be.
And it's periodic times, all right? It's periodic times that it will happen, which again, to me, indicates if all the circuits are busy, you don't have capacity.
That's an odd message too, yeah. Okay, we should check this out.
Can I ask you a logistical question? Because it happened to me, I have a cell phone, but I was wondering for maybe elderly people who don't carry a cell phone. When I got my new Xfinity box, I'll be very brief, I promise. I plugged it all back in. We have internet, cable, and telephone, voice. Everything worked, the Wi-Fi and the cable worked. What didn't work was the phone. How would somebody who only had a landline, who activated everything all at once, but then the landline doesn't work, how do they get in touch with Comcast to troubleshoot?
Without a cell phone? And had no access?
Because this has happened every time I got new, and again, not a problem for me because
Yeah.
I have that cell phone that works and everything, but for somebody who,
Yeah, that would be a bad situation. I hope it doesn't happen often, if ever.
I was just wondering if anybody had ever had that same experience when they were sitting there.
Yeah, my own house I didn't, but I just picked up my cell phone.
Cell
Yeah, and called and
Right, if I didn't have a cell phone, I had to go to
Yeah.
my next door neighbor, which would
I
be.
guess,
real-
but
Or
you
the
could,
computer, I mean, we
you
have
have
chat
this-
24/7.
exactly, yeah.
But if that's not working,
Yeah.
then yeah, it would be.
Yeah, the problem is if you're on a call and you're dropped, and you call back, you never get the same text.
Yes.
And you go through the whole thing again.
starting again.
And you say, take my phone number so you can call me back, or give me your phone number so I can call you back. Oh, we can't do that. And the other thing is, if you reach a tech and they understand the problem, number one, if they can't fix it, they should say, I really can't fix it, but I'm gonna connect you to hopefully that next level.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've had that experience.
Yeah.
Relay the message, at least the basic problem, to whoever you're gonna send me to, because if you don't, you gotta go through the whole thing again. And it's not only what my name is, where I'm located, and what the problem is. Then it's, you've got it, your husband's name is on the thing, and I gotta see if you're an approved user, and give me your address.
You repeat yourself. It's
I'm thinking,
frustrating.
don't you have computers so that somebody can look at this and see all of that? The call hasn't changed, but, or, as I say, you get disconnected, you never get the same person again. It's a nightmare. It's a total waste of time.
Selectwoman, with these issues, because they're multitude, did you ever reach out to the person that had my job before me? Did you ever reach out to
Yes,
that
the man
person?
that came in. As a matter of fact, I will tell you, that gentleman, when I was on the board from 2007 to 2010, we had a gentleman, I'm gonna say his name was Jerry, or Gerald, or something like that. And he was here for quite a while. And one of the problems we complained about, meaning people in town had mentioned it. I had an appointment for Comcast to come out to do whatever. Didn't show up. Came an hour late. I'm waiting, didn't make the appointment. That's when Comcast instituted the $20
On-time
deal,
guarantee?
that if we don't show up, or if we don't call you.
Right.
I think the $20 fee discount, it's not a fee, the $20 benefit to the customer, that did improve service. And they were better about calling you saying, I'm gonna be late because I've run into a problem at my previous call, which is fine. You know, and even if you say, I can't get there, at least call and we'll reschedule, but don't leave us hanging. It was when he was here that the complaints that were brought to his attention, it was after that that Comcast instituted the $20 discount, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And that's done for another reason, and I can't remember what it was. But there are certain conditions that the $20 is taken off your bill.
As it should
And-
be, absolutely. And I can
And
tell
that
you.
did happen.
That's good, but even so, it's not right, you know, if there's a reason to be late, you have to communicate that. We have so many advancements in this area now where we went from 4-hour windows to 2-hour windows. We have, if you have, almost everybody does, a mobile device, we have a My Account app, which you can change your appointment, you can track and see geographically where the tech is, you can communicate with that tech. He can communicate with you and say, running late at this job, I'm going to be about 20 minutes late, does that work for you, or should we reschedule? So you've been heard, and others who have gone through that, really, I mean, a lot of work has been done to improve, because there are the realities of jobs going along and that happening, or traffic. So it's always just a matter of communicating and giving the customer the choice of whether I can afford to stay here longer and miss more work time, or I have to go pick up my kid, or, let's make another day. That's what it's all about. So, yeah, we still have a lot of work to do, but I have to say there's been a lot of progress made too in these areas, and we just need to look into your particular issue, I think, because it's probably other people.
If it were
who
only
might have
happening
similar issues, you
to
should
my
let us know.
computer, to me, in my home, I'd figure the problem is here. But when I come here and run into it, as a matter of fact, if I go to the parish center up at St. Nicholas, up on Spring Street, which is a mile or so from my house, and I walk in and the secretary there she is just in knots, saying, I can't get in. And I'll say, try this, because this is what works at my house, but you're gonna have to restart. You're gonna, try save the file, but you're gonna have to restart, because you're not gonna get out. It's a knot, I call it, you're gonna knot, you're not gonna get out of it, all right? Except you've gotta restart the computer. Did you have a comment, ma'am?
I do. I just want to echo everything that Mrs. Goulart and Brett have said, because I have had those problems, and then some. But my question is usually once a year, right around the time that my bundle is going to expire, the promotional bundle that I have been sold, I'll call and renegotiate. This past year, I wanted to renegotiate to get the price down. The person that I ended up talking with got me to keep the same channels at a lower price. First of all, why wasn't that offered to me in the first place? I find that ludicrous. And every time I have tried to renegotiate my bundle, which includes my landline, I want to get rid of my landline. I don't need it, it's obsolete. My husband and I have cell phones. I'm told that the price of the price will not make change if I get rid of a landline.
I've been told that too.
That makes no sense to me.
Or if you vary from the bundle that they want to sell you, the 3 services, whether you need them or not, it's more expensive.
Yes.
Just like the extra channels that you probably don't need that you get.
Can you
But
explain that?
I'm glad,
Other than what we said before about like the economies of scale with having more products that can, it's marketing really is what it is. There are a lot of different types of packages and promotions do change. Oftentimes if you decide to take one, you're in it for 12 months or a certain long period of time. And in that time, sometimes the promotional offers will change and the one you were in might have changed somewhat. I don't know specifically which one you might, we can look into it if you like.
I'm more concerned with the landline issue. Why should I have to pay almost $200 a month for all 3? Okay, take away one of those 3 and I'm still going to pay almost $200 a month.
Shouldn't it be a third cheaper?
It should.
I don't know, but we could look into it if you want to.
Yes, I would.
Definitely we can look into it.
I'm glad you brought that one up, because that wasn't on my list, but absolutely, I've heard about that too. And as I say, I only keep my landline, because so many people know that number, and I always say, call my house and leave a message, because that's the one number I rely on, okay? And I will check that voicemail, and so many people have it right now, to now say, just call my cell or call my car, forget it. No, stay with that one phone.
I do have one other question.
Oh, go ahead.
And I don't know if this has to do with you or if it has to do with, mass.gov or the FCC. It seems to me like every 3 weeks I have to renew my do not call. I've been registered on the do not call list since do not call became available. Constantly have to renew it because those calls get through. Is that Comcast?
It's not us, but I hear you though.
No,
Yeah.
that's an AT&T issue.
Or just like, I've noticed when I buy things online or subscribe to a newsletter, I feel like that company then outsources my information to their, partner companies, and then I get emails from them.
Yeah.
Have you
So
tried
I'm
it?
sure it's the same.
I'm sorry, excuse me, have you tried the 2 separate numbers? There's one, there's a state number for the do not call, and there's also a federal number.
Okay.
Yeah, all right, that's what I have to.
But there are also, I'll call them organizations that are exempt from those laws, and they're annoying too.
I have a two-part question.
Go ahead, Joe.
Do you offer any discount for the disabled? Because I know that my local utilities do, that if you're disabled and you can prove it through that you're collecting SSI, that's National Grid and Bay State Gas will give you and put you in a different tier level, so you pay a cheaper rate. Would Comcast think of doing something like that in the future? I understand that, you're a nationwide company, it'll be millions of dollars you'd be losing, but, you may want to think about something like that, because you may be able to keep customers who are, again, on a limited income
Right.
as customers. Now, my second question is that in town, was 242 Vice Land or Vice Channel, was that just set into a different tier now? Because all of a sudden I was watching it and it disappeared.
I'm sorry, what was that again?
Vice, 242.
I think that's on that letter.
Is that on a separate tier now?
I think I noticed that in a.
Yeah, I think
in
that got
a-
moved.
It's in like, it's got moved, yeah, I think so too.
I must confess, I don't watch that channel. What's on that channel? Is it mostly like crime shows and stuff?
That's, a lot of new, I would say I don't know if I want to call them millennials, but it deals with just what's happening in society, where they have.
They're called Vice Land.
Vice Land.
Yeah, Vice Land,
Land.
channel 242 HD 910. This was back in October. It moved from expanded basic in digital economy to digital preferred. So they changed the tier on that specific channel.
So if you want to pay more money,
It's more
just have one
expensive.
channel.
Yeah, yep.
The people that I know that have changed from cable to dish, they are willing to give up channels they like on cable because of the price. No other reason. And so, one of the things that this town has been doing for several years now is trying to find the best way to communicate with the most people in town. We have Channel 9, we're broadcasting live tonight, and they run it during the week. This meeting will be shown a number of times. It's not available on Dish. So
Right.
my colleague has now taken that CD, the CD of this meeting will be put on the town's website, so that hopefully if they've got a computer, they can do it there. But they're willing to give up certain channels and go to Dish simply because the cost that Comcast charges. So you need to get that back. You're trying to retain customers. You've got competition from Dish, and that's what people said. I can't afford cable anymore. I really miss Channel 9 and whatever else you lose. I don't know what else you lose, but it's strictly a cost thing. And I think what Mr. Rhines is saying, I consider Comcast a utility. If gas companies and electric companies and phone companies can come up with ways to help, and I don't mean everybody, but people could use a break for whatever reason, Comcast should do it too. It just makes good business sense.
I also feel like in addition to losing those types of folks that Selectman Goulart has sort of identified, I do feel like, and this is not just Comcast, but in general, I do feel like media providers or cable providers are in danger of losing, quite frankly, my generation, who will not pay for $200. They can't afford it. We have student loans, and it's not a necessity for people. Like, we're happy watching things on the internet. I do have cable, but I'm just, my friends and people that I know. Totally happy. No commercials. Watch it when I want. It's basically DVR for, however much Wi-Fi is a month, 50, 60 bucks, 25 bucks in Texas. So, I think that there's an opportunity for Comcast to bring in a generation of people who are the future business for your organization, your company, and sort of rope those folks back in.
No, you bring up a good point, Selectman, because if you look at what Comcast is trying to do at Netflix right now, there's a great synopsis and a business relationship there, whereas in the past, there wasn't. And I think a lot of that is to look to the young, I can't say I'm in that generation, the younger generation. And so you do bring up a good point.
I do want to thank you for
Do
that.
you have that?
The Netflix
Isn't that
food,
great?
It is great.
It is great.
Can't,
Really, I love
not
it
a bad
too.
thing about that.
I these are great points, and we will take them all back, and a lot of these we talk about. Bob and I went to, endured a day-long meeting not too long ago with a management group from all over New England, and there were 3 customers that were brought in, and we had, like, how many, 400 people in the audience? And they sat up on a stage, and it was similar to what you were doing, Nancy, just to relay their personal experience. There was one woman who had a horrific experience, I'll admit it. It was, and we were all just cringing, listening, and it was like, how did that happen? We're good, we do such a good job, how did that happen? And she was great, though. I mean, talk about, we did right by her, but everything she talked about, you could see, oh, that's how that happened. It should never have happened, but, that's how that happened. So I will tell you that management wouldn't have brought this in front of all of our faces if they didn't care enough to say, don't let this ever happen again, So we're good, we're better than we've been. I've been around a long time. This company's really cranking, doing a lot of great things, but we still have a ways to go in certain areas. So I really appreciate everything you're saying.
I think the point that she made also,
I think we need to follow up.
I will also tell you, whether you call Comcast or go into one of the centers, you never know what you're going to get for customer service, because when you call in or go in and say, can I get a better price? It's just getting too expensive. Or you get the notice the rates are going up, and you look at it and say, well, should I drop it, or what changes can I make to maybe keep my level of cable, but I don't need the landline, whatever. Some people in customer service will bend over backwards. Let me see what I can do for you. And they will come up with a solution, whether it's a few dollars or more, but they will come up with a solution. There are others that only want to sell you more. That is wrong. Customer service, the important word is customer. And when a customer calls in and says, I want to keep my cable, I've got to cut expenses somewhere. What can I do? Look at what I've got and tell me what I can do. Don't tell me I got to keep what I got or you want to sell me more. That's not what I want to hear. By the same token, if you look at it and say that you're kind of at the basic level, you can't go much lower or you can't go, tell me that. But don't tell me, well, I can give you this, this, and this, but no, it's going to cost more. I don't want to do that. So that's the other thing. Customer is the important word, okay?
Yeah, agree completely.
One thing, Mr. Chairman and members, if I could ask, maybe Ms. Brady could email to me the specific names and addresses. I don't want to do it on TV, but of the people that spoke today, this woman and yourself and anybody else, and if you could send that to me, I'll give you my cards with my email. That way I can talk to, we have a dedicated tech that's right on top of things, and as soon as I get that, I'll run with it, because you brought up good points, and that's why we came tonight.
Some of the people that contacted me, I will contact them and ask them, is it all right if I release your name and address to Comcast? Because if they say, well, I don't really want you to do that, that's why I told you and I didn't go to the meeting tonight, but I will, because I know who's called
Okay.
me or spoken to me.
Yep. But they really can't address it unless they know the address, so.
Exactly,
Yep, that'd be
exactly.
fine.
And when I think about the people that have contacted me, it's not neighborhood pockets.
Right.
I could put pins on maps, on the town map, and it's
Throughout
gonna
the
be,
town.
it's gonna be in places, but not necessarily clusters,
Okay.
okay?
I do want to say, I feel bad if you feel like we kind of, use you as a punching bag, but I do just want to say,
yeah.
I do a lot of the Comcast outreach, when there's a minor issue in the house with that, because my parents don't know how to, and I do want to say that I really have noticed.
His parents are watching this
Yeah,
tonight while
sorry,
he
Mom and
says
Dad. I really have noticed that the customer service really has improved. Again, not perfect, but I have noticed. I'm sure other people have noticed too. So
I
thanks.
mean, that's what the slogan is right now, Mr. Selectman, is customer service is our #1 product. That's really what they just keep saying at every meeting, Kathy and I go to. And
I
they
like
believe
that.
it, so we'll keep it up.
Thank you.
I want
I
to
know
thank you.
you probably won't comment on this, but I know that, being the major conglomerate that you are, you must have 150 million customers in the country. So you're talking about maybe 15% of the population has DirecTV, the other 15% have Dish Network. So if a family member I have a family member who has DirecTV, and that bill is astronomically lower than what Comcast is offering. I go over there and I can watch the channels that I'm watching on my home. The only thing they don't offer is local television networks, they only offer 2, and that's it. It's the same package. So the point that I'm making is that being the major conglomerate that you are, and having all these households that are paying for this service, why is this service so much? Because these other, people are paying through DirecTV or Dish Network, they get the same packages, and they're paying $35 a month. My bill's $70 a month, and I get basically just a bottom tier. It's absurd. You're a major conglomerate. They broke up AT&T because they had that problem back in the 70s, and all of a sudden now it's look who you just bought out. So they're making billions of dollars. You need to try to defray some of this cost on to your customers.
Yeah, I can't speak to Dish, I'm not familiar with the packaging there. I know Verizon Fios we're very competitive with, and even the municipal.
But even cable, going through a cable is, within 10 years, is going to be completely obsolete, as you very well know. Everyone's going to be getting this.
I don't know, it's hard to
TVs
say.
with satellite on
That's
top of
the-
your roof.
I don't know, that's the topic du jour though, where we're all going in this crazy technological.
I remember
world.
when cable was first, we were all told we would have cable because they would be doing away with the, the antennas and all that other good stuff, and how we would not have to deal with commercials. Whatever happened to that? We were going to pay for cable
Now they're online.
service. We were not going to
You got them on YouTube.
commercials.
So my question is that
At least now we can fast forward through them, I don't know.
after
if
we've
you-
had.
That is-
After we've had this discussion here about, troubleshooting certain situations, how much are you gonna hit us in the wall now, is the question. How much of the tier levels gonna go up, and how much is my bill?
There is a
gonna go
new
up?
price list around it.
Yeah, we just
December
sent,
1st.
we just sent out the notices.
Okay, because, we're getting priced out, I hate to say it.
Yeah, I mean, this year we had a lot of programming rate hikes, because that's cyclical, with every single program, all the channels.
But again,
provide. It's just one contributing factor.
Why
It's a big
can't
one.
it be that DirecTV and Dish Network, who are purchasing those same networks, okay,
I can't
purchasing those
speak to
same
that.
networks, charging a cheaper rate?
I don't know, and
I
I
just
don't know
don't
if we're
understand it.
comparing these, I don't know, because there's,
Offering the same program,
Yeah, I don't know how they would do $35 a month for the same offerings, but.
But when the wind blows, you don't have your TV, so.
the TV goes up. They're going to Patriots on Sunday. What happens, the AFC Championship game is snowing out, I can't see my. I just, as a resident, I do appreciate Comcast coming here and,
It's been quite a while.
and,
Since we've had them come in.
To the general public here and the information you've been provided, I do appreciate that. I'm sure the residents
Absolutely.
do also.
Absolutely.
Our customers, so.
Now, Bob, the important thing is, everyone that stands at that podium gets a number.
Oh, yeah?
Now, if you come back again, you don't get another number, you only get one number.
Okay, see if I can remember it.
No, you don't have to
Oh, I don't have to
remember.
remember?
She remembers.
She remembers?
Oh, yeah. She's got a memory
You're number
like a
47.
tap.
Now,
47?
if you want to have a number, you've got to stand up there, because you only get the number once. You can speak there, you can come back and visit us many times, you won't get a new number.
Should I get a number?
That,
47.
That-
That's how old I'm gonna be this year.
No,
How do you know that? That's very strange.
Predictor of the
She can,
future.
yeah. Woo.
Just remember, Jason Barrett, technically also.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
that podium was constructed by students at Bristol Plymouth Regional Voc Tech.
Oh, nice.
awesome.
And it arrived here this spring. And so the first person to stand there was the chief of police, and he grabbed onto it, and he really felt,
He hasn't let
he
go.
felt like a politician.
He hasn't let
Made out
go.
of ash. This is what they make baseball bats.
Then he threatened to carve his initials in it.
He lost his privilege.
But each person that's come there, we've said, oh, you're number 2, and on and on and on. And we've been told that it's childish to do this, but we've also been told by other people, am I going to get a number tonight, because I haven't spoken it. So we continue to do
I
this.
have it. This is it. Thank you.
You are 47. And you get up there and you just address us, you are 48. So for those keeping track,
Hold on
we
a
have
minute.
47 and 48 here
What do you-
tonight.
Thank you very much.
And for those that think this is foolish, who cares? So, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Excellent job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And good luck with you've been here 2 months and you're getting all this stuff. Trial by fire.
Yeah, that's all right, that's the best kind.
You said you're a counselor in Brockton?
11 years, yeah.
Yeah, you're used to this.
Wow.
I'm curious now.
Thank you, everybody, have a great holiday.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
When you walk down the walk, check out our little train. That was also,
I saw it, it's beautiful.
it's out here.
What's the little village near the?
That's, all of this is lights on. But as you walk down the ramp to go to the parking lot, that little train was a tow horse, was a wheel horse tow motor that was surplus property from Quonset Point, so we got it for nothing, we just had to pick it up. Bristol Plymouth students converted that into that train. We just got it on the 17th, and it was in our program last Saturday night.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
That's when you're saying the button, just to.
No, don't try starting it.
Remember, 27.
Absolutely.
47 and 48.
Have
Thank
a
you.
wonderful night,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, would you like to, just for everybody watching, or who's still watching, to read this internetessentials.com to read more about that $9.95 per month plus tax internet service through Comcast, as well as what the eligibility requirements are to be eligible for that program.
Thank you, Rick. I think we're still on new business. The last item on the new business, review, discuss, and act on workman's compensation waiver for Roger Sisson for the plow season 2016-2017.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman.
We have a letter here from Roger Sisson Jr., and he writes, "My name is Roger Sisson Jr. I am requesting a waiver of workers' compensation insurance. I use my own Chevy Silverado pickup truck to plow for the town and would like to do so again this year."
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion, we grant Roger Sisson's request for a waiver for workers' comp insurance for the plow season, 2016-17.
Second.
I have a second, and I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? If none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? The ayes have it, that passes unanimously. Next subject matter is reports. Any of my colleagues have anything to report?
Brett and I went to a solid waste contract management seminar yesterday. It was put on by Mass Solid Waste Management, and it was all afternoon at the Mansfield Public Library, and the presenter was attorney John Gregorio, who is with Copeland and Page. He's an environmental lawyer. He serves on the same MMA committee that I do, and he's been there as long as I have. And most of the discussion centered on what to look for when you negotiate solid waste management contracts, including curbside pickup, throw as you go, the importance of, I'll say, controlling what gets discarded in your town. For example, I think people in this town are pretty aware of what you can dispose of outside your home and have it picked up, what is not allowed as far as hazardous goes, because, and we always announce our hazardous waste day, so it's, if you can hold on to it. The fee schedule that we have for the bulky items, if you take them to the landfill, or when we have our bulky item pickup, what those fees are. And one of the things that he strongly urged, we got into discussion of private haulers and private dumpsters. Most of the communities that were represented there suggested, and already do it, but the attorney also said that the town should consider requiring private haulers to be permitted in the town. And that way, you have more control over issues such as we've had Board of Health complaints and had to send inspectors out because dumpsters were not emptied within the time schedule that was scheduled, especially in the summer, and how they become a health hazard. And the covers are left open because they're overflowing, and you've got food waste and all sorts of unhealthy stuff out there in the hot sun. But they did talk about doing that, and I do have some notes on that, and we'll probably be discussing that at a Board of Health meeting. But it's very common, and the feeling was for the town's own protection, it would be wise to do it. So I don't know how many independent haulers we have coming in, but it was discussed, and I felt from the discussion that I want to say Dayton's ahead of the game, because some of the questions that were asked, I felt like, you mean you're not doing that already? And I mean, Dayton has had this program for a long time, the throw as you go, pay as you throw, or whatever they call it, the trash bags and the regulation of the landfill transfer station. So I thought we were ahead of the game, considering what was being asked. And there were cautions about what not to agree to in a long-term contract. Don't go beyond 10 years. This would be for contracts with places like Covanta, which used to be CMAS, place that will take your trash. Don't ever agree to a minimum tonnage in the contract. And even if somebody offers you a better price, be careful, because some of those lower priced companies have gone bankrupt and left communities with no place to send their stuff. He did talk about one that went bankrupt in New Bedford, and he actually represented communities that had signed up for it, and then they ended up with a real mess because they had gone into bankruptcy. And I remember the name because this town stayed with CMAS/Covanta, and it was more per ton, but in the long run, it was the wise thing to do. Or we'd have been one of those communities that would be looking for legal relief, and that's when he talked about bonds, that you always get a performance bond. So it was a good workshop, all in all.
It was an eye-opener.
We felt pretty good about our operation.
Yeah, we did. We
didn't
felt
brag
like
or anything,
leaders
but
in
we
this
felt pretty
realm.
good. We felt like Dyke knows to do with his trash.
Absolutely.
Next, do we have any acknowledgements?
I do, Mr. Chairman, if you so permit. I would like to acknowledge Ms. Karen Brady, who, let me back up. When I first joined this board, quickly found out that there was no Wi-Fi here in Town Hall. So I would bring my laptop here. There was like Ethernet, DSL, you would connect through the wire. So I chose to connect through my Xfinity Wi-Fi through my home account. Well, thank you to Karen, who has been involved in getting Wi-Fi at Town Hall since I joined the board in April of 2016. I'm sure she had been working on it before that. She has finally succeeded, and I can proudly report that we have 5G, not 4G, not 3G, 5G Wi-Fi at your town hall. So thank you very much, Karen. Always going above and beyond.
21st century.
But the real test is, Karen has been given the assignment to make sure that everything is done over at the new old town hall for the office space. So now she's gonna have a challenge.
We have faith in her.
Can you handle it?
So again, honestly, all jokes aside, Karen, cannot thank you enough. I know this will be good news for the other boards and commissions. So good for everybody, and I'm really proud of Karen, and I'm really proud of our 304-year-old town roaring into the 21st century.
Here we come. Thank you, Brett. Next on the agenda, public input. We have anybody that would like to say anything? Alex?
Nancy? Selectman Goulart, what?
49.
There you go.
49, all right. Well, thanks for letting me come on up here. So, Alex Cimbalisi, Assistant Harbor Master, past Eagle Scout of the town. It's great to be here again, see some new faces. Nancy, I think you were around as well.
Yes, I remember you as a
I'm-
scout.
I'm here tonight to bring to your attention something that I guess our community down on Pleasant Street has been experiencing for the last years now, but especially the past 6 months. So, as you know, Pleasant Street is a very highly trafficked road for pedestrians, bikers,
Speeders.
speeders, you name it, dogs. And recently, in the past few years, as you know, Tricentennial Park, the Eagle Scout project by Brandon Chilikis, Osprey Landing down by the boat ramp by my grandparents' house, and then Broadcoat Nature Trail by Jonathan Gray a year before me. So there's been an improvement of, I guess you could say, the area for increase of, activity. Also, the Somerset Boat Ramp was closed this past season, so there was some more activity down there as well. So on that note, I notified the police department as well as some other residents on the town, I want to say back in July, of what was going on, the speed on the road we thought was excessive. In certain times of the day, especially the morning and afternoons, coming home from school and going to work early in the morning. And I told this all, and this was all given to the police department, Officer Cronin, and we saw their presence, definitely. And this was, like I said, back in July and August.
Were they, I don't mean to
No, go ahead.
interrupt, were they physically there, or did they set up that electronic, or both?
Both.
Nice.
Yeah, that was, I think the electronic sign was there maybe twice over that few months. But their activity was mainly, I want to say, in the morning and evenings, they took what I said and then they were there at the right time. But as you know, police presence, unfortunately, if they're not there, some things tend to mold into happening again, like bad habits. So, like I said, the increase of patrol was awesome. I think Officer Cronin said they had like 29 stops in maybe 3 hours one day.
Wow.
It's bad. I don't know what they wrote for tickets. Now my grandmother has a scanner, and she hears sometimes there's a lot of citations that go on. And I don't know all about as far as tickets and what all the recommendations, what has to go into actually giving a ticket. But she noticed there was a lot of citations or warnings, which is fine, which needs to be done. But since then it's kind of been the patrolman has kind of tapered off. Now I don't feel it necessary, or I don't feel, I guess I could say right, calling the police all the time, the dispatch, or having one of my neighbors or my grandmother or one of the residents. I have a very good community sense on that road, to call in and to notify them, because they hear it all the time. And I know it's not Pleasant Street. But if we do back up a little bit on Pleasant Street, it is, I really agree, and it could attest to this, that it's one of the most trafficked, pedestrian, biker road in the whole town. It's a very scenic byway, I guess.
And
you
no
could say.
sidewalks.
And no sidewalks. I've met a lot of people on the road who come from other towns and even park at one of the parks, and simply walk, because they just like the area. But the speed has been a problem. So recently, believe it or not, Governor Baker has signed in a new bill, and this passed on August 9th.
The weed whacker.
She was there when he signed it.
Good. Wish I would have came with you.
I know what you're gonna say.
Okay, so,
Me too.
so it's, I guess, quote unquote, it's a new bill, H 4565, an act of modernizing municipality finance and government into law. The legislation would address the number of interactions between state and municipality governments was approved and the lawmakers on the last day of 2015-16 legislature session. This quote-unquote allowing communities to lower the default speed limit to their jurisdictions rather than relying on the submission of a home rule petition for the change. Quote-unquote, the bill lets cities or towns set their own speed limits at 25 to 30 miles an hour in certain areas, such as business districts, heavily used areas, school districts, and so on. So that was recently brought up to me in the past few weeks, and I finally had some time to compile some things to feel confident enough to come up here and talk this evening. And thank you again for letting me be here. I know it wasn't on the agenda, but I also brought along I'm going to leave this with you. It's a residential street standards and neighborhood traffic control survey. Now, it's 56 pages, you
I
know.
just want to see if I got the letter from Mary Jo Perry of District 5 that came in this
We
week.
just got one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on my desk.
Is it on your desk?
What is I'm so sorry
No,
to
go ahead.
interrupt again. I feel like I'm being rude tonight. What actually is the speed limit right now?
So the speed limit coming off of the post office, the South Dayton, I guess you could say, post office, coming onto Pleasant Street there is 30. And then as soon as you hit, I believe it's the Muddy Cove, Tri-Centennial Park, it changes there in fact to 40. And that continues all the way into the Somerset Dayton Bridge, that town line there.
Mr. Rhines, you're on that street a lot. I know you spend a lot of time by the boat ramp. I know